Hey guys, I'm so excited to do today's video because this is a video that I've kind of thought about doing for a while because I've come across some products that are so good that I've had to run out and get as many shades or as many iterations of it as possible. I think I'm going to be naming this video, I'm not sure, but something like so good I had to get more, or, products that really like set me on fire, like just really inspired me, products that really kind of like drove home how much I love makeup. Like, there's some of those products, there's plenty of products that I really love, that I really enjoy, and they perform well, and this and that. And I'm just so glad that I have them. I use them every day. But there's some products that you're like, yes, this is why I love makeup. So I wanted to share some of those products with you. I think some of them, won't be a surprise. You will have heard me talk about a lot of these probably. But I just wanted to create like one video and just share like the products that were like that turned me into like a makeup monster. Maybe that's what I'll call this video. Products that turned me into a makeup monster. So one of the products that I remember most recently that kind of gave me the idea for this video are the Armani lip powers. Now I have a box on my lap with like all of the products that I want to talk about, or most of the products that I want to talk about. I have 7 of these Armani lip powers. I started out with Sultan. I think that's shade 405. And I'm not someone that remembers numbers and shade names or whatever easily, so that was a lot for me for that to have just come out. I think I started with Sultan 405. But here, yeah, it was like, it's like this burnt, like deep kind of terracotta red shade. I fell in love with every aspect of this lip product. The shape of the lip stick, the bullet, how it's pointy at the top, how it's kind of a slender lipstick. It's not like a typical kind of traditional bullet lipstick. It's like thinner than that, so I just find it easier to apply. The shade range, obviously, I found lots of shades that I really love. It is gorgeous. The shade range is gorgeous. I love it. And what I think really was like, oh, I need more, was the actual formula. So I put it on and I remember thinking, oh, this is a really nice, lipstick. It felt creamy, this and that. It looked like a little glossy. It has like a little bit of a shine, a little bit of a gloss to it. And then I realized that it was kind of a long wearing lipstick. And I was like, what is this magic? Because anything that felt and looked the way these lipsticks looked are not long lasting. They go away within a matter of a few bites of your first meal after applying, or, a few sips of coffee, whatever it is. But these were actually very long lasting. And when I realized that, I just started kind of hoarding them. I ran out and I bought like a nude shade. I think 102 is the one that I ran out and purchased next. Yeah, this is the one I've been using actually quite a bit. It's really far down into the tube there, but that's 102. Beautiful, like everyday nude shade. And then, yeah, I just started getting more. I'm not going to bore you with all the shades, but I started getting more and more, and I love it. I'm just like, I feel like I'm waiting to see if Armani will come out with more shades of this lip power because I love it. It's like the perfect lip product to me. So that was definitely one product that turned me into a makeup monster that, once I tried one, I had to get all of them. Another product that I remember very distinctly doing that to me were let me pull them all out, were the Natasha Denona lip liners, the I Need a Nude lip liners. I couldn't remember that I had 7 of these. I don't know how many there are in total. Do I have all of them? Possibly. I think she maybe has like 10. But I remember getting maybe 3 I started out with. I think 3, because I love a nude lip. I love Natasha Denona, and I thought, oh, let me try a bunch. Very rarely do I buy like lip liners in bulk. Usually I find that kind of like nude shade that I enjoy. I get that one and I'm happy with it. But I got 3 of them because I thought, oh, these nudes it was a great nude range. It is a great nude range. And as soon, it was like as soon as I applied the lip liner, I was like online finding more. And I can't remember because it's been a long while, but I can't remember how many I purchased after that. In fact, actually, I remember them being out of stock for a while. And I was like, what is going on? I need more of these lip liners. And the latest one that I got, NP2 Ilona, is actually one that I probably use the most because it's a very cool toned kind of nude. And a lot of these, like NB1 Michelle, is on the warmer side. So it's very, very peachy. And then let me just swatch Ilona. This one is, like I said, it's just like a cooler nude. So this is Ilona, this one is Michelle. So anyway, it's just this really beautiful range of nudes from light to dark, cool tones, warm tones, and I just want to make sure I have them all eventually. So like I said, I have 7. And yeah, from very first application, I fell in love with them. So yeah, this was definitely one that ignited the makeup monster. One more recent is the Say Dew blushes. Now, Say sent me these 2. And when I tried, this is chili and this is spicy. When I tried these, I was like, I need to get more. And, you know, I haven't run out and purchased a lot just because I have so much makeup, but just the fact that I ran out and got another one, I think says a lot. So during the Sephora VIB sale, I got the shade Poppy, right? God, my eyes are getting worse and worse. Yes, Poppy. And I know slowly, one at a time, I'm going to eventually probably have all of these blushes. I think there's 4 more that I'm missing, 4 or 5 more that I'm missing, but I love this formula. I love the shades that they have. I just fell in love with these blushes. They came at the right time, like the beginning of the spring season. And I mean, I'm a cream liquid blush lover, but I really go like full force come spring, summertime with the like liquid and cream cheek products. So this was another product. I remember it's like those products that are so good they make you angry. You're just like, what is happening? That's how I felt about these and had to run out and get this one. So those are the Say Dew blushes. And there's actually quite a few blushes in here. Let me just continue with blushes. So the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks blush stick. So when Westman Atelier came out, I ran to Barney's. I was really interested in it. I had heard of Gucci Westman. She's a makeup artist. She does Jennifer Aniston's makeup. I think that's probably her most prominent client. But you know, she has a ton of clients. And I thought, wow, she's coming out with her own makeup line. I've got to check this out. Ran over to Barney's and got like a smattering of the entire line. I think I got like a couple brushes, I got the foundation stick, et cetera, et cetera. And she had these blush sticks. So I opted to get Petal, which is, I think, the most kind of universal shade. It's the most neutral, I guess you could say, but I do think this would work for a lot of skin tones, you know, cool or warm, and a lot of skin depths. Anyway, so I went and I picked out Petal. After using Petal, I had to get more. And so now I've ended up with 5 in total. I think there's 6 in total. And this is actually my second Petal because the first one I have, it was so old. Like I said, I got it when the line first launched, so old that it kind of turned. So this is my second Petal, and I have Minette, which is this beautiful light peach shade. I had to get Chouchette is one. I think actually they sent me one. Was it Chouchette? Hold on. Chouchette, I'll know when I see all the colors. And then there is Pop It. This is one that I had to like run out and buy myself because I love, love, love this bright, deep fuchsia color. So gorgeous. And then Bichette. Oh no, Bichette is the one that they sent me. This is like a terracotta red. But the rest I ran out and purchased myself. And yeah, it was like you couldn't hold me back. Once I used Petal, once I kind of got into the Westman Atelier line, I was like, what else do they have? What other shades do they have? And they've grown their line. I think when she first released the line, I think there were 4 of the blushes and now there's 6. So I know I ran out and got a bunch of these. And ever since then, when a new one comes out, I'm like, I'm on it. I am on it. So love, love, love these cream cheek products. And yeah, again, I mean, I think the whole line, the whole Westman Atelier line is like what I described. Like I really kind of like fell in love with makeup all over again when I got that line. I was like, oh, all of this stuff is, it's like, it's so beautiful and it wears so well. And I love how everything is like in a cream stick form. And, you know, and Gucci Wetzman herself has such a beautiful, like light, natural touch to makeup. And she really likes to just sort of bring out your natural beauty. And anyway, I could go on and on, but I really fell in love with not just her line when it came out, but with like makeup in general. So that is one I wanted to mention. Another one I wanted to mention in terms of blushes are the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate blush duos. Now, these are the latest blushes from Tom Ford. The previous blushes that came basically in the same packaging but were just a single pan, it wasn't split. I love those blushes. And so when they announced that they were discontinuing those and coming out with these kind of blush duos, I was like, how dare you? I felt personally attacked, and I was really sad to know that those beautiful blushes were going away. Like Love Lust, you guys, those blushes are so beautiful, but I really, really love, as you guys know, I love these Shade and Illuminate blush duos. So they have 6 shades in total, and 4 were released first, and then the 2 were released later. I don't know if it was some sort of supply issue or shipping issue or whatever. So I ran out and I got the 4, basically to review for you guys. And I was trying to keep an open mind because, again, I was pretty bitter that they were getting rid of the other blushes. And I fell in love with these, mainly because of the formula. Hold on, I'm trying to find the 4 that I started out with. Oh, here we go. So the 4 that I started out with, these were the peachier ones, and the 2 shades that came later were a little bit more pink. So I just absolutely love like these duos. There's something about the actual powder in them that's so fine. It's like their bronzer that I love. It's so fine that once you get it onto your skin, it looks like, I won't say it feels like because it's too fine to feel, but it looks like it kind of melts into your skin, and it's like minimal blending required. They just like they just apply like this whisper onto your cheek, and I just love them. So this is one that I really love. This one is Cherry Blaze. I use this one quite a bit. The other one that I use I use them all quite a bit. This one is Sun Drunk, and this one is Explicit Flush. This one I was going hard with right in the beginning because I really loved this nude shade, and you guys know how much I love a bright blush. And then it was like these 2 couldn't arrive fast enough. So this one is Brazen Rose. Yeah, this one is Brazen Rose. So you can see it's pinker than the other 4. And then this one is the pinkest. This one is Aflame. As soon as these were available, I was like ordering them, and I'm really hoping that they come out with more shades because these are all, in terms of like shades, these are all pretty basic, you know, peaches and some pinks, but I really wouldn't mind if they came out with some like really cool tone, almost bordering like lilac. I think that would be really, really cool. Or if they just did maybe some more interesting pairs, because the pairs that they have are pretty safe. You know, they kind of make a lot of sense, if you will, but it'd be really nice if they did something a little bit more daring. But I love them. I love these blushes. I still miss the previous blushes from Tom Ford, but these are really, really nice. And let's take a break from blushes because I love blushes, and very often they kind of ignite the makeup lover in me. But these eyeshadows from Victoria Beckham, I just fell in love with them, and I remember distinctly ordering Mink. So these are the lid lusters from Victoria Beckham. Hold on, I brought them all out. Yeah, this one. I got this and was like, you just stop it right there, Victoria. You just stop it. Let me swatch this because that's when you'll see the magic. You guys have seen me swatch this a gazillion times because it's shown up in so many favorites and lists and things like that. But when I got this eyeshadow, I was like, excuse me? What is this? Again, it was like an anger in me came out. And I I'm trying to think if I got this and another shade together or if I got this and then I ran out and slowly just accumulated the rest. I think I purchased this first because I wasn't sure of the formula. I wasn't sure if this was like a product I was going to use very often because it is slightly shimmery. It is slightly micro glittery in there. But I remember picking up Midnight and Onyx afterwards. Yeah, so Midnight is the blue one. And admittedly, I don't use blue shadow often, but if I want to use blue shadow, this is the one. So this is Midnight. I mean, they're all incredible. This is what it looks like in the pan. They are all so incredible. And then Onyx, if you want a like evening smoky eye, this is it. This is it. So Onyx. Is this right here with like a really beautiful, like silvery metallic to it. And then I'm not going to swatch all of these, otherwise we're going to be here all day. I remember that she came out with Mink, Midnight, and Onyx at the same time, along with one that I think is kind of like a whitish golden. That one I don't have. I don't know why, but I ran out and I got those, and then I have just like simply been waiting for more to come out. Every time they do, I pounce. So Tea Rose and Honey were the next two that they came out with. Here, I'll just show you the bottoms because you can see the shades there. Tea Rose and Honey. These are great. These are probably the most like everyday shades. I got those like as soon as they came out. And then Mirror and Chiffon were part of the next release of these. And I can't even remember. I think they sent these to me. Not that it matters. I would have run out and purchased them anyway. But I think they were kind enough in sending these to me. But anyway, I wore Mirror when I had to go to that gala recently. I just love these single eyeshadows so much. These are one of those products that I feel like if I kind of created my own makeup line, that I would have created something like this. Like this is one of my dream products. They're just gorgeous single shadows that are just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. So those are the Victoria Beckham lid lusters. And then let me get these swatches off my hand. And then I do have some, of course, some lip products. And the ones that stand out are these Chanel ones. So the Chanel Rouge Coco, when these came out, I remember they came out with a ton of shades, and I had a really hard time figuring out which ones I wanted to try, but I did get quite a few. And despite getting quite a few, I don't remember exactly, I probably got like 4 or 6 of them. Despite getting that many, I remember running out and getting even more. And I remember the rep at the Chanel counter was like, I think you picked up all the shades that you really liked. And I was like, I'm sure there's more. And I picked up some more. I didn't pull them all out because I really have an obnoxious amount of these, but I did have Boy here. And this is just such a good shade in this formula. So when I tried this formula out, it was like, oh, okay. Okay, like it kind of kept surprising me. I thought, okay, it's one of those moisturizing, lightly pigmented, kind of balm-like lip products or whatever that we have all heard of. We probably have a ton of, very comfortable on the lips. But there's something really beyond with these Rouge Coco Shines. It's something about the finish. And I'm actually, I just filmed a video where I'm talking about like the best and worst of some luxury brands. And I talk about these in terms of best of Chanel. I don't know when that video is going up, but anyway, keep an eye out for that if it hasn't. If it has, I'll link it down below. But there's something about the finish of these. They don't just look moisturizing. They don't just look glossy and wet. There's something really highlighty but subtle about it all at the same time. I just feel like they make my lips look really plump and plush without them looking super shiny or just kind of wet. There's just something really beautiful about them. So this was definitely a product that I remember distinctly, like it was like the next day I was like, I'm getting more. I have to get more. And yeah, a frenzy happened. The other Chanel products that I do also mention in that other video are the Chanel Cocoa Glosses. Again, I couldn't bring them all over. They're sitting over there, but I have at least I have at least 20 of these. In fact, I have some shades where I have double. I think I have 2 of these. And my favorite 804 Rose Naif, I have 3 of those. In fact, I think I lost one, but I had 3 of those at one time. It was like 1 in each purse that was going, 1 sitting here. I just love these glosses. I think that they have a really wonderful texture. They're just like the slightest bit sticky, but not, I wouldn't describe them as sticky. There's just a little bit of tack to them. It just kind of helps them stay in place. They're not too thick, they're not too thin. They all have, some have like a little bit more pigmentation than others, but they all have like the appropriate amount for a gloss. Not too much where you feel like you need a mirror to put them on. They layer beautifully over other lip products because there is like a translucency to them. They're just wonderful. And yeah, I don't know. I never really thought about Chanel glosses. And this is, I'm going back like 6 years maybe when I bought my first one. And I fell in love with them. I also fell in love with the doe foot applicator because it's one of those, it gets fatter at the bottom. Do you see that it gets like fatter at the tip there? It looks like when a golf club has like a little cover on it, that's what it looks like. Anyway, really love that. I love the fact that there's no fragrance. There's no mintiness. Yeah, there's no fragrance. They're just really just like beautiful straight up glosses, and the range that they have is extensive, and they have ones with some shimmer in them. They have ones with like a metallic sheen to them. They have ones that are plainer like this. This is just a gorgeous like milky one. This one, did I tell you this one's 728? 726? Wow. 726. But I've always really liked glosses, but it was when I tried these Chanel glosses that I was like, I need more glosses. I love glosses. So so this really ignited something in me. Next up is something that I pull out and I show often, and I keep them all in my Adept Cosmetics. But these are the Surratt eyeshadows and Surratt blushes. Now, this is, most definitely when I was getting basically back into makeup, and when long before I started my YouTube channel, I kind of created a blog. I was getting really into watching YouTube beauty videos and reading blogs and things. And I remember coming across Surratt Beauty at Barney's. And then I think I found them at like Sephora, and they weren't at all Sephoras. So it was one of those like, oh my God, I didn't know they carried them. Anyway, I fell in love with the Surratt blushes and the eyeshadows. And I just couldn't get enough of it. And, this was during a time that I really was kind of falling in love with makeup. And so I was, purchasing quite a bit. The makeup fire was like ignited. It was going really strong. It was a roaring fire. But there was something about the Surratt Beauty line and these products in general that I was like, oh my God, maybe it helped inspire me to start my channel. I don't really know the full-on effect of these products from Surratt, but I do know that I was in love. I was smitten with these products. And I started out with, I don't know, maybe 4 of these eyeshadows. And it was like every single time I went into Sephora, I had to get more. Every single time there was a sale, I had to get more. I just started to accumulate more and more and more, and it just turned into this frenzy. Same with the blushes and the contours and the highlights. Like I just had to have them all. I don't have them all. I don't have all the eyeshadows. I don't have all the blushes. I would still like to one day. But yeah, every time I open up this palette, I feel so happy. And yeah, these fed the makeup monster for sure. So wanted to mention those Surratt products. Okay, and I have to talk about these Laura Mercier blushes. So I haven't talked about these in a while, but I remember when I think I picked up 2, maybe was it 2 shades, but I know I picked up Fresco. And I think I got these at Nordstrom. So this blush continues to be one of my favorites because it's that kind of nude, slightly peachy kind of blush that I love. But I remember picking up these blushes and, really liking the shades, but I wasn't exactly sure of the formula. I'm trying to think, I don't know, I'm trying to find the one that was well, this is actually a really good example. I hope the camera kind of picks it up. But do you see it kind of looks like, do you remember when you were little, there was those stickers that if you angled one way, it looked like one thing, and you angled the other way? It was like an illusion sticker. There's like illusion things like this all the time, like those Chanel star blushes or whatever. So like you angle it one way and it looks like something, you angle it another way, it looks like something else. That's what the tops of these blushes kind of look like. Almost like this, like a silk shantung fabric. And I was so like curious about them because if you were to touch these too, they're very, very hard. They're not very creamy in the pan or soft, but there's something so gorgeous about the powder and the formulation and the pigmentation and like the really kind of subtle sheen that a lot of them have. Some of them are kind of more of just a matte, but a lot of them have. Do you see that? It kind of looks like it has a metallic shift, but it's so subtle that it just makes it look a little glossy. And Fresco, I mean, I've used this one the most, so it really, you can't really see that anymore in the pan. But Fresco even has some micro glitter in there, which I am not the biggest fan of when it comes to cheek products, but it pretty much brushes away. But then again, you're left with this kind of like soft wet appearance. They're just really, really cool. So I'm not going to swatch all of these for you. And I did get some of these in PR, but I did purchase, I want to say half and half. I have nine of these blushes. And this is another product that when I got those two, I was like, I need to get more. I think I ordered maybe 3 more at that point, and maybe the rest were sent to me. But this is a product that I feel like I keep an eye out for. If there's like a new shade, I'm like, what's it look like? Do I need that one? I just get really excited for this particular blush. I just love it. It's one of my favorite Laura Mercier products. What's the actual full name? Blush Color Infusion. Just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. There is actually one shade I want to show you that's so incredible. Hold on. I think it's Grapefruit, if I remember correctly. Yes. Look at this shade. I mean, just stop it. I think you can see it in this pan too. Do you see how it kind of like shifts? It looks very golden, lighter here, and then it's so cool. But this is such a good, I have to remember to use this in the summertime. Such a good summertime blush. Okay, enough of the Laura Mercier blushes. The last thing I want to talk about is Sonia G brushes. So when Sonia G brushes first came out, she had that fundamental set, foundation set, I think fundamental set. And Beautylish, who is the exclusive retailer for these Sonia G brushes, they had come out with, I think it was like a blog post about Sonia G and about her brush collection and her love of it. And I remember reading about it, and I had just started getting into brushes. I had a Hakuhodo brush for quite some time, but I didn't really realize how special it was. And, you know, I started dabbling and getting more Hakuhodo brushes, some Chikuhodo brushes, really kind of like reading up on the different hairs that are used and like, you know, which ones are best for what purpose and things like that. And so I was really intrigued by this article about Sonia G, this collector of brushes, and they had these beautiful pictures of her beauty room and how she displayed her brushes so beautifully. And then it was like soon thereafter that she released her brushes, and I thought, okay, I need to get these. And I got the fundamental set, I think is what it's called, and include the Sculpt One brush, which is why I'm holding it. I was never a fan of fan brushes until Oh my God. Until I used these Sonia G brushes. I fell in love with her brush. I love the handles. I loved the actual brushes. I loved all the shapes that she came out with. They were so unique in every way that it was like an ignition of like makeup brush love. It has thankfully calmed down because I have so many brushes now. I started to really kind of like collect brushes and look forward to like releases from the Japanese companies, and was kind of keeping an eye on that. And it was a real fragility. Like she really ignited this love of makeup brushes. And the Worker One brush which is, I mean, just one of the most perfect eye brushes out there, because I feel like if I could only keep one eye brush, this would be it, because it's a wonderful shader, it's a wonderful blender. It's just amazing. So I ended up running out and getting two more. That's how much I loved it. And yeah, I'll never forget like the feeling. It was like it was almost overwhelming. The feeling that I got for makeup brushes after using Sonia G's fundamental set. I was just like overcome with like emotion about like how beautiful they were and how much I loved them, and how I needed all of them. And was she coming out with more brushes? And I'm so glad that she's, still in the game and still doing this, because they're still some of my favorite releases to come out, over the year. I look forward to them, and everything that she does is so special. So anyway, that was a little love fest for Sonia. But yeah, she really like brought out the makeup brush monster in me. So thank you for that, Sonia G. But anyway, that is it for this video. Those are all the products that I could think of that really, like I keep saying, just really kind of like made me like kind of makeup crazy. Let me know what some of your like makeup monster products are down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.